Welcome, everybody, and welcome to On the First Tee with JT. I am Janice Thornton with JT Fitness and Golf, and I have an online personal training business, and I love to help golfers elevate their golf game and take you to a new level. The other thing I love to do in my business, though, is help my networking friends boost their business and showcase them, because I never know who out there in LinkedIn land might need my friend's services. So today I have the honor of having Gannon Thiel with Artisan Recruitment on. So welcome, Gannon, and I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thanks, Janice. I appreciate you having me as well. It looks like
And
your setting's about like mine up in the
I
woods
was
of
just going to say,
Arizona.
I know I'm in northern Arizona right now, getting to enjoy some much cooler weather. And I can see that you're up in beautiful Sedona because of those
I am.
beautiful red rocks. So if anyone is watching this who's not ever been to Arizona, it is not just all desert and cactus like people think, because we're actually in two different parts of our state that you never know that we are actually in Arizona in either of these locations. So come visit
Yep,
Arizona because it's a great place. So, well, Gannon,
absolutely.
let's get talking about you and your business in Artisan Recruitment. And, just tell me a little bit about your business.
Yeah. So I have a executive search firm, and we're more of a boutique style with focus in the accounting and finance space. And I've been doing this for 4 years now. Um, it's been a great journey. I've met lots of people and really enjoy being able to put the pieces together and connect employers with really high qualified candidates to fill their open roles.
Nice. So how did you get into the world of recruiting?
So it was a long journey there. And if you would have told me I was going to do it, I probably would have said, I don't know what you're talking about. But background is accounting and finance, and I acted as a controller all the way up through my corporate days, and then my wife and I acquired a small manufacturing company here in Arizona. Had that for about 8 or 9 years, and when we sold it, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I did know and remember back to the days of being a controller, the difficulties of working with recruiters, but also, excuse me, finding good qualified talent without them.
Mhm.
So it was kind of a double-edged sword. There's definitely a need for good recruiters. Uh, the problem is there's not that many good recruiters out there.
Mhm.
So I set out on this journey to take the bad experience that I had on the employer side of things and try to correct that on the recruiter side of things to be able to provide a service to my clients that is very valuable.
Perfect. 'Cause I know it is difficult working with some recruiters out there. So
Yeah.
who is your target market?
So my target market are it's going to be small to medium sized companies. And what I mean by that is, a headcount of 10 to call it up to 500 to 1,000 employees.
Mhm.
What I have found is those privately held organizations typically don't have the time and or the resources and process in place to accurately and efficiently execute a job search. So, you know, their controller leaves the organization and they need to bring in a new controller. That puts strain on the entire role, both below it and above it, because now the CFO or the VP of finance, whatever their title is, the hiring manager, at that point, they're now trying to do their own job as well as ensure that the controller's job is being done. They have to take on the management of those additional folks. A senior staff accountant might be asked to step up and do a little bit more work at month end than they typically do. So I'm able to come in, sit down with the team, understand really what the needs are. Every role has a job description. The job descriptions are very generic typically, and it's not necessarily what the organization needs or wants. So we get really in depth on that and deliver good candidates that meet those needs.
Perfect. Well, there are a lot of recruiting firms out there. So what sets you apart from the other recruiters?
Yeah, I think for me, it's specifically the niche that I'm in is accounting and finance, and that's not by accident. I've sat in that chair. I know what those people are looking for. I know the pains that they felt on a daily, weekly, monthly basis with having those vacant roles. And I also know how frustrating it is to work with recruiters. So my goal is to slide in and make that as efficient as possible. I'm a one-man show, so you get me. You get me all the way through the process. I'm your guy that we talk about the role. I'm the guy that searches for that role. I'm the guy that conducts all of those interviews and then ultimately submits them over to you for review. So that essentially is what sets me apart. Is I have the background. A lot of agencies, they've got a seasoned business development person that can talk the lingo just enough to get the role filled, and then they hand it off to somebody that more than likely is a recent college grad and doesn't experience in that industry. So
Right.
that's the biggest difference.
Good. So are you able to help individuals that might be looking for a new role?
Yes and no. So it depends
Okay.
on how in depth we're looking to go. If they're in the accounting and finance space, folks all day long, because you never know when I'm going to have a role in South Carolina or Ohio or Montana, or specifically here in Arizona, pop up that 2 weeks from now might need exactly what somebody I talked to has. So search process starts with the client, the employer, and they have a specific need. I then go through and interview candidates for that specific role. But I do have lots of conversations with controller level, accounting manager level, CFO level individuals that are potentially in as well on a daily basis. So if it's outside the accounting and finance space, I'm not going to be able to help you directly, but I can probably point you in the direction of some other good individual recruiters that can.
Perfect. Yeah. So like if I just called you up and said, hey, Gannon, help me find a job, that's not, I'm not necessarily your ideal
Yeah,
person to help.
you're not. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't help you find
Right.
help. I
Right.
will do whatever I can to connect people. Like you, I'm a serial networker.
Yeah.
Love talking to people, love meeting new people. So, there's no such thing as a bad conversation
Mhm.
because they could always lead to something.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, Gannon, thank you so much for doing this with me. And I can't wait to get you out there some more. So all these companies are calling you because they want you to help recruit for them.
I
So,
love it, Janice. I really appreciate you having me on.
well, thank you very much. And everyone have a fantastic day.
Take care, guys.